This presentation covers the minimal increment demonstration for the Not a Glue team. During this increment, we built upon the architecture foundation that we put into place during the skeletal phase and produced a fully functional application with choice parts of the game logic implemented for the demonstration. The architecture we established during the skeletal phase comprises 4 key components: a front-end user interface built on Python Flask, a back-end layer also built with Python that's used to handle the live events and player actions, a network communication layer or server that uses Socket I/O, and the MySQL database that is used to manage data during gameplay. During this iteration of the project, a number of modifications and new additions were made to the Clueless application. Starting with the improvements to the current design, a new user interface was implemented that greatly improves the user experience as well as the ease of use for our website. Also, we improved our repository organization and formalized our configuration management best practices. In this way, we are more robust to design changes and will have more confidence in our software quality moving forward. For the new additions to the software website, the classes specified in our design document, class diagram, were built and implemented into our backend layer. For the purposes of today's demonstration, we also implemented a front-end component to the board game, character, and card classes. These will all be shown and called out during today's presentation. This chart gives our project schedule. You can see that we're right on track to finish the minimal increment by the deadline. As a team, we feel that we've set ourselves up really well to complete the target application by the 11th of December. This chart provides an itemized list of everything that we've accomplished during the minimal phase. You can see that all the foundational elements of the game have been built, and we are now going to designate the next 2-3 weeks to establishing the actual game logic of Clueless and building out a really nice front-end experience for our players. We did want to also mention kind of the primary risk that we are tracking at this point. The big one for us is unfamiliarity with the tech stack. We do a lot of watching tutorials and reading documentation, so there's a big learning component, and the risk there is that that could bleed into the project schedule. It might also kind of fall down to that second risk item, which is design flaws. And for this, what we're doing is trying to constantly keep track of our design doc and make changes as we need to. So we'll move on to the demo now. So moving on to the demonstration. The main goals of this demo are to reinforce the functional architecture that we built in the skeletal phase, show the improved UI, and highlight the implementation of the game board, character, and card classes. So at this point, we've added a few players to the game, and they're choosing their character. You can see that they can select and unselect characters. This character will be Mr. Green, and the second character will come in, and this character selects Mrs. White. Sliding over to the database, you can see that similar to the skeletal increment, the characters have populated the characters table, and the users have similarly populated the users table. So this full architecture is operational within our application today. So we'll go ahead and start the game, and you can see right away that the characters have populated the screen and they're in their official Clue starting positions. The user is now clicking around on these positions, and you can see that it wasn't able to move its player icon until it selected a location next to the character itself. And just there you saw that the game board map class is fully operational, and even the secret passages are in place. So that showed off the game board and character classes. Now we'll talk about the card class implementation. This is what a player's hand would look like. You can see that they can select different cards, and they could even type in here which character they think might have this component